education. If you take 25, let's take 25 of our budget, which is, our budget right now is 4.3 trillion. You get around 900 billion. That is a less of 200 billion. You remember that gap now? So the issues in education cannot be fully utilized with this 700 billion. If Ruto is very serious about education, then we really need to get to meet that target of at least 900 billion Kenya shilling going to the.
There's a guy when there's a guy is also is running presidential candidate. He's give us a scenario that if you get a doctorate of education from primary to university, you just need only 300 billion only. And then the students, pupils will go school free without even paying even a single cent.
Okay, you see, that 17% which government gives education now.
Because what he was trying to tell us, that education means just a lot of money. So that's why the figure being exaggerated here, that's 700 billion. These are the personal people who are going to eat it.
I agree with you.
Before, even because the budget it is almost half of 300.
I agree with you. Because that gentleman may be right, because that 700 billion, is a lecturer. That 700 billion is a cumulative of everything. It's a cumulative of NGCDF is within the 700 billion. It's a cumulative of what the Lishebora is in that 700 billion. So if the gentleman says, I want to give education 300 billion, but so the question is this 300 billion accumulative of the NCDF, the Lishebora, the everything that school goes through? Then he really need to think hard.
Okay. Jeremy,
Yes.
do you think government is going to make sense in changing the education, economical and agricultural systems?
Yes. I think the government will make sense, because if you look the 844 regime, yes, the 844 regime and the how do you call it? The CBC, the CBE.
Yeah.
You can get that before the 844 regime. The students and the pupils, they were learning things that do not exist. Are you getting me? And as for now,
What do you mean by that? They were learning something they don't get.
So you learn something that does not exist.
yes,
You.
yes, I did.
For example, your curriculum, the curriculum we are talking about, the curriculum which was there during the 844 was different.
Yes.
What was that thing that did
So,
not exist?
for example, if you learn about, let's go to chemistry. Yes.
Yes.
You go to chemistry,
Yes.
and if you go to chemistry, nowadays people learn, and what help people is there is just titration. That I see many people, I see this.
The titration and the reactions of the
The titration, nowadays if you go to these clubs, they are not only doing titration, everywhere they are doing. I'm telling you the fact. And that is
so you're trying to give us that
the CBE, yes, you get a student or the pupil, eh? The person will learn the real thing.
So titration is not in CBA.
Titration. The titration is there, but if you compare it with the 844, it's different.
how is it?
Okay, let me explain to you.
Yeah, give us an explanation.
Like, do you see the CBE? Yeah? You get somebody will learn something like this. If it's scattering, you go with that direct. Instead of passing so many subjects that we were passing as the 844 regime. I get it. So if you decide to be a catering man, are you getting a chef? Yeah, you proceed with that one till university instead of passing so many.
So you are trying to give us an idealical thing that CBE
Yes.
and 844.
Yes.
There's a both are their curriculum,
Yes.
but CBC or CBE, it's directed towards your talent.
Yes.
Then 844.
The CBC directs you to your the course you wanted to do. Yeah, are you getting it? The real course, not only even the talent. Talent, yes, but the real course. Like me, I wanted to be an engineer. Are you getting it? Now I ended up being a politician. So
Babu was an engineer, by the way.
Babu was an engineer as well as a politician. But I just want to tell you that for me, I wanted to be an engineer
And stick to that.
and stick to being engineer. Are you getting it? But as per now,
So this education failed you.
it failed me, yes.
Are you
The
I
844.
Are you doing
The 844 failed me because I wanted to be an engineer. Yet now I'm being in politics, and that's why I want to tell you, if it could be the CBE,
But
I
then-
could go direct to the political science.
But most of the people, like over the leaders, even including your MP or MCA, if you look the course they studied, is it a political course?
So, do you want to tell me this politics is by heart?
Yes, some people take for it as a visualizing thing.
No, politics is not by heart.
It is by what?
Yes.
It is forced.
It is not forced. It is something. It is something normal.
Politics is normal.
Politics is normal. It's something normal.
Engineering.
Are you getting
An
it?
engineer.
Engineer is not normal because you must learn for it. Can you wake up to you just sleep and you wake up to be an engineer?
But you can wake up to be a politician.
Yes, you can just wake up to be a politician. And
How
that
can
is
you be
true.
a politician? Yes, you don't have academic fit.
Academic fit.
Why?
You know what?
Why are there political courses?
Political courses are there, but they are not that difficult as being an engineer.
So the political courses are there to sharpen your politics.
Yes, just to sharpen your politics.
So you are saying
So
that
that
for made you chose easy course.
for pardon?
844.
Yes.
It made you left out the tough one.
No, the 844. The 844 is not about the easy one or the tough ones. And what I can say, the 844 was about how will I put it so that you can understand it? I don't know.
So okay. I'm opposition. Let me ask the government side. Let me ask my government side.
Yes.
Give us the reason why the government decided to change 844 to the CBE right now.
The government decided to change that because the government came and realized that this 844G, the courses, the subjects, are you getting it? The subjects, the students or the pupils are being there. There are so many subjects that do not help them. Are you getting it?
How many subjects are in the CBE?
The CBE,
Yeah.
the CBE, they are like around 12.
The 844.
The 844, if you go to high school, in primary level, they were around, let's say, they were around 5 to 6
In primary.
in primary.
Okay.
That is 844.
844.
Yes.
Go to CBE. How many?
They are around 14. But specific, there's a certain level. If you reach a certain level, the subject is reduced and you focus with what course.
I think this guy is
Yeah.
I need to come in shortly, but before I talk about the 844 and the CBE thing, I want to respond to my two friends. You know, we really need to understand the separation of powers, because Kenya, we're in an evolved system of government. have the national government, we have the county government. When there are purely responsibilities for the national government and the responsibilities for the county government, we talked about Kigogo factory which don't exist. The factory that exists is called Mokwa factory. That is
But
situated.
Mokwa was just recently brought by Gladys Wanga.
Yes, that is what he was alluding about.
But even now, is it functioning? It's not
I
functioning.
wish you'd allow me to talk about it because none of you knew about it. He was talking about Kigogo factory. which
Because
don't
the factory
exist.
was about this is another dealing with
It is more in Kigoto.
Kigogo factory don't exist. What exists is Mokwa factory situated in Kigogo. Get the point? So he was misguiding Kenyans.
Yes, yes, yes.
He talked about it being a county project and he's blaming Ruto. So I also question his understanding of separation of powers. Mokwa factory is a county government project. In an event such a project flops or fails, it is the failure of county government. The central government can only come in to support. For example, you realize we had the Roche or the Raila Odinga Stadium, which is a county government project begun by the former governor Witi. The county government could not sustain its building. The central government came in and ensured it and finished it. So there are projects of the county government that cannot be sustainable by the county government. So a good national government can come in to sustain, like that stadium. Number two, if you come to, he's talked also about coffee farmers, tea farmers in Kiambu complaining about cartels. I misunderstand how Ruto with this national government coming into the cartels. He's blaming cartels to be giving tea farmers and coffee farmers problems in Kiambu. Yet he's blaming Ruto. So I don't understand how Ruto and cartels are coming in position. Number three, I also want to guide him. He's talked about 2003 and he's also talking about currently in matters of education. We have two education programs here, curriculums to be specific. We have the 844 system, which has the primary, has the secondary, has the university. You get the point? We have CBE today, competency-based education, that has the primary that we have, and that primary also has what we call junior secondary, because junior secondary is under primary. Then we have the senior secondary, because before we go to university. If you look at these two curriculums, the president sitting today, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, before he came to power, he opposed this CBC. Then it was called CBC. Then it is called CBE. He opposed it because he knew the problems that would come along with CBE or CBC then. But them supporting the Azimio and Uhuru's regime then, they supported the CBE that they're complaining about today. But because Ruto has the heart of Kenyans, he has tried to bring in with the expensive part of this and tried to really make it work. That is why when I began my statement, I talked about to a tune of 16 classrooms have been built. These classrooms, they have not been built in universities, they have not been built in the former primaries. They have been built to sustain CBE, to ensure that junior secondary, for example, they have classrooms inside the primary. Senior secondary, for example, they have classrooms. Because look, CBE is competence-based curriculum. What my good friend was talking about, and this guys do not understand, is this. 844 system was purely theoretical, whereby what is brought to you is just brought on theory, on paper. There's no practicality.
What about CBC?
That is 844 system, theory. But when you're talking about CBE, it is now competency-based. Practicality is brought about. That is why you realize if you're a good student who can do sports, you'll one day find a line in the sports line. If you're one student or one learner who is good in the field of science, you'll go to STEM, where you'll be going to do science subjects. If you're a good student who maybe is good in arts, you'll go to the art level. Get the point? So CBE is trying to give people paths that at the end of the day is going to make you achieve what you really want to achieve. You wanted to become an engineer, for example. If he was part of the learners that are doing CBE, then he could be engineer today. Because in junior secondary, you would have done integrated science. Then going now to senior secondary, you would have gone purely to STEM, minus doing theories of arts. Today, he's doing politics, which is in arts. But he wanted to become an engineer by profession. He ought to have gone to STEM. So basically, the government of Dr. William Samoei Ruto is a government that has the interest of Kenyans. It's not that Kenyans are having a lot of issues. Today they love this. Tomorrow when this is brought, they're changing because maybe such things are not favoring their emotions and interests.
Let me interject you, my good friend. When Raila was talking about devolution in Homa Bay, I think you know where the 10th devolution was
spearheaded.
It was in Homa Bay. William Samoei Ruto was the guest, the chief guest, and he asked William Samoei Ruto. He asked the people, why is government building markets? If you are talking about separation of powers, then why is national government building now markets? Can you explain? And I want you to give me. When William Samoei Ruto got into office, he formed a committee to check on the CBE, the transformation from the 844 system to the CBC, which was later changed to CBE. Can you tell these honorable members what was the finding of the committee that was formed by your president to look at that?
I want to begin with the issues of markets. I think he has brought a very good debate. You know, you have to look at Ruto's regime before it got to power. One of the major pillars of Ruto's campaign towards 2022 was small, medium enterprises. It means he wanted to promote small businesses. The small businesses, you realize they're done in markets. Our county governments all over Kenya have failed. Our governors have been given money to sustain small and medium enterprises. So the central government is coming to ensure the county government is sustainable. That is why today, all over the country, Dr. William Samoei Ruto is building markets. So why is Ruto's government building markets? He wants to promote the small, the medium enterprises. Because when he was campaigning, he talked about Mama Mboga, he talked about Mtu wa Boda Boda, he talked about Vijana. So if he's building markets, he's going to touch on the Mama Mboga that he was talking about before he got to power. Because just a minute. Before we promote this Mama Mboga, where do we get Mama Mbogas? Mama Mbogas are in the markets. So if Mama Mbogas are in the markets, if you want to elevate them, if you want to grow them, we must ensure where they do their business is to standard. If, for example, it is raining, if there are no markets, do you expect our mothers to be doing their business? They cannot do their business. If we have scorched up in sun, and our mothers are selling omena, for example, selling sukuma wiki, selling their nyanya, and there are no markets, will they do it? They cannot do it. So the government of Dr. William Samoei Ruto is only trying to sustain a devolved system of government that has failed, not because there are no resources, but because our governors are failing. James Orengo, for example, governor of Siaya, who really understand, who was talking about devolution. If you go to his county, he's been allocated resources. He has not even built one market. So if Dr. William Samoei Ruto goes to Siaya,
corrupt guy.
He's a corrupt governor. So if Dr. William Samoei Ruto goes to Siaya, for example, and sustains that county by building members of Siaya a market. Just a minute.
So does William Ruto respect devolution?
William Samoei Ruto respects devolution.
Then one is coming to do a devolved system, yet why is he coming to do a devolved project?
Moderator, I think it is the problem of English. I've talked about is coming to sustain. It means he has realized the governors, the county governments have failed. So he's come in to support. Because building markets is a county government function. The resources are allocated. Resources are allocated to such county governments. But the governors have failed in doing that. But since Ruto's campaign manifesto, he talked about I want to elevate Mama Mboga.
Yes, yes.
And in elevating Mama Mboga, is the chief, is a symbol of national unity for Kenya. And is taking resources to county governments. And if county governments have failed, then as a good president who has the heart of the people, he wants to ensure that the members of this country get what they're supposed to be getting from governments. He can sustain county governments by building markets so that Mama Mboga can feel that they have a president who is feeling that they're supposed to be.
Let me correct you. You know why Raila Amolo Odinga asked that question? He was saying, you don't need to come to build for us, but in line of sustaining, we also need to strengthen. If you are the president right now, you want to strengthen devolution, it does not necessarily you to come from the national governments to do that thing. If the government is not performing, is underperforming, then but the government is duly elected by the citizen. As a president that want to sustain devolution, do you come from the national government to build for them, or do you call them there's always governors conference. Sure. Do you go there and talk to them and discuss about those projects? If you are corrupt as a governor and you are the president that really want to strengthen devolution, then what do? Do you come to do for them?
Very good. Yeah. The regime of Dr. William Samoei Ruto has really tried to ensure we strengthen devolution. Yeah. I want to take you back.
Yes.
When ODM and UDA had a parliamentary group meeting, when the issue of CDF, national government CDF, came and the corruption in the National Assembly,
yes,
we talked about taking CDF away from the National Assembly. And the reason we want to take CDF away from the National Assembly was to give it to the governors to strengthen devolution. The largest population of the people that complained
but to your case, before you do, let's just show the facts. Do you think the governor can strengthen if they have been given this CDF? Do you think they will strengthen the devolution?
The governors that we have, most of them have failed. Beginning with Bob James Orengo. He has seriously failed.
This is personal.
This is not personal.
I come from here. You are not.
It's not personal. It is true because if you look at the whole of this country, the only governor who doesn't have even one project in his name is Bob James Orengo. If you go to Siaya, there's around.
But I saw him launching boats.
Launching very good. You just about launching. Just launching. In Siaya town, there's some roundabout there.
It was started creating long term.
That is not a roundabout. That's an arrow.
That's an arrow.
Arrow.
We'll talk about that.
If you go to Kisumu, Professor Nyong'o has done some good work. Even if you go to Nakuru, the governor there has done some good work. If you come here to Kiambu, the governor is trying. Even if you come to Nairobi itself, as much as most people really try to oppose the governor of Nairobi County, but he's tried better than Orengo. So, the governors we have seriously failed Kenyans. And that is why the president...
Let me tell you.
You can interject, yeah.
On Bob James Orengo.
Yes, on Bob first. Let me say on Bob. Yes. You know, James Orengo is not the figure that we use to scale the governors. If he has failed on his own, he has failed on his own. We cannot say that Sakaja is trying better than
Both of them are failures.
Both of them are failures. Yes.
But for Orengo, it's worse.
Orengo is worse.
I wanted to say something here about the issue of devolved functions, especially the issue of agriculture. If agriculture is devolved and you subsidize fertilizer, are there farmers for counties and farmers for national government? If Mokwa is not working because of lack of maize, do you think the issue is about the county government or about the national government?
This is about the county government.
Those are the failures.
No, the county government does not go to the farmers plant for them. The national government produces fertilizers that you say are subsidized. Yes? And then it is the work of the national government, right, to make sure, the just the way he's saying, to support, right, the farmers, because they must come in. It is a government, they have system, right, to make it work. Then if it is devolved, why is Ruto now taking credit where there is where there is a work which is done good? He should not take credit to that. He should leave it to the county government to take credit.
What if they fail?
Then they just pay.
Yes, but yes.
It's not a good question. If they fail,
If they are failed, you should also take that in the failure.
failure. Why then? And that is not part of his responsibility.
But he's taking credit too. And then,
But I think in this debate of counties, we need to start it.
we need to talk about it. Let me finish.
Okay, finish. Let me
finish.
You are the supporters of one time.
No, you come with one.
Okay.
The issue of CBA, right? When the issue here is not about the subjects or the type of education system we are using. The issue here is, do we have honest, competent, and leadership with integrity to take on or to lead this system of education? And to me, I feel like we don't have. Right now, we are crying of the capitation in schools, right? Why do we cry of the capitations in school? Because of the leadership that we have are not honest and they are not willing to make it happen. Professor Magoa, may his soul rest in peace. He was the one who started. He was the one who started when he was the Senate Secretary
champion
for
for
Education, right?
CBE.
He really tried his best. When his time, he really did a good work in building some classrooms. He also did classrooms. He also did some labs, right?
That's true.
Yes. And right now, he has a number that has been built. Like some classrooms,
16,000.
yeah, around 16,000 classrooms. Do you know right now when we speak, there is a region that does not have a classroom? Totally. Not even a mad one. They don't have a classroom.
That is in Turkana.
They don't have.
Baringo.
So when
Baringo.
yes,
So, can I ask you?
even in Homa Bay.
You know what
In Homa Bay,
Is that a failure to the national government?
That's a county.
I think
That's
that is a very grave issue.
Yes.
When you talk about area, an area is a blanket statement. The schools we have in this country, all of them have codes, they have names. So if you feel there is an area that has a school that doesn't have
that direction is going in the direction of ownership.
Just a minute.
No, that is a direction of ownership. When you know that you have failed somewhere, you don't want to be responsible. Then now you want to give us some code things.
No, not code. Just what is failure is failure.
A Spain is not a big school.
Yes.
When you are informed about an area that doesn't have classrooms, it means you've done your research, you know the place quite well.
Yes.
So just a minute. He's talked about there are places that don't have schools. Let us not say Kirinyaga, Turukana, Machakos. Which school are we talking about? For example, if it is Busara Primary School, you can tell us, in Busara Primary School, we don't have classrooms. And Busara's Primary School is in Embakasi West. Busara Primary School is in Umoja 2. Busara Primary School is in Nairobi County.
It is not my work to do a research for government. And
So
the
it
government
means-
But
knows.
it's a county issue.
Yes.
Do they learn at?
Let me finish. Can you give me time?
Yes.
So it means it doesn't have information.
Can you
about
give
what
me
it's
time?
talking
Can you
about.
give me
Do
time?
they
to
learn
finish?
under the trees?
Can you give me time? I finish. Let me just.
Do they learn under the trees?
That is what I'm asking.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me just give me time. I finish. The issue of market, right? Market is devolved, right?
Your market should be a county
It
project.
is a county project, right? And don't give us this scenario that the government, national government is building mini market. They are not. It was in Homa Bay that they built that market. In which part of the country where have we heard that the national government are building markets?
I can
and
mention.
they are running with the issue of the ASLA issue of the.
I can mention.
There's
supermarkets.
Before you proceed,
Mention. Just let me mention.
There's supermarkets.
Yes.
Supermarket is in Narok.
Yes, it is.
There is Homa Bay market.
Yes, there is Homa Bay market.
There's Kibuye market.
Complete.
That would be
It's not yet complete. It is incomplete. It is in progress.
Yes.
Here in Kiambu, if you go to a place called Togot, next to Alliance Boys High School, there is a market.
Yes.
So those are just 4. So how many did you want?
And 4. And how long has Ruto taken since he got to power?
It is 3 years.
3 years. He has 2 years remaining. Do you think he will finish the rest of the country building markets?
That is why
And
we're
so,
saying you
let me just finish this. Let me just finish this. You know, the money that is being taken to counties, the money is allocated for markets.
80 billion.
Yes, it is allocated.
It's supposed to be 400.
Yes, so these markets that the national government are building, they are already been budgeted for in the county's budget.
Yeah.
So where is this money being taken to in the counties?
So you should ask governors.
So
We should now
let me
ask
ask
for rent for both games.
let me ask before you proceed.
Yes.
Is it bad for the national government to build a market?
Is it bad?
Is it bad?
No, it is
No, it is not.
And
But
they are
it's
not
not
building.
bad.
And they are not
It's not
building.
bad. There's a national government project and also there's a county project.
Yes,
So we need
I'm
to-
aware.
That's why we need
But
to do analysis according to the county government or according to the national government.
it is true.
Yes.
But what if the question is, what if the county government they fail to do? Should the national government watch them?
Let me say something here.
Yes.
The issue here is not about governor and the national government fighting over who is building what. It is true, right?
Yes.
The issue here, you know, the common Wananchi wants to see service, want to see those ones, right? But we must also respect our constitution. We must also respect the separation of power.
Right.
We must also understand, let the people understand the work of our county governments, right? If they cannot separate the work of the national government and the county government,
Right?
then why are we having a devolution?
Exactly. There
There is
what
no
I was asking.
reason to have a devolution then.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
So do you need devolution or you
What?
need good job?
Do
You need development or
Let me speak.
devolution.
Moderator, I wish these people learn from history. You know when you're talking about
Let's
devolution,
listen to the story.
what is most important to the people is not the constitution. What is important to Kenyans is service delivery and what they need from such governments. To begin with, I am a champion of devolution and I really love devolution. But when Dr. William Samuel Ruto was campaigning, he was not campaigning so that he can go and tell the people or educate people on our constitution. He told the people what, if he becomes the president, he's going to do. And Ruto more than 10 times, more than even 100 times, he talked about Mamboga. He talked about Mutua Boda Boda. Where are these people?
But Mamboga and Boda, they're complaining.
You know, president is the number one defender of the
There
constitution.
is no Mamboga complaining today. In fact, they're celebrating because Ruto has seen that county governments have failed in their functions, yet money is given to them. My good friend, see this: 15% is given to devolution.
That is very small.
It's very small, I agree,
Small.
but there is something to show for it. There is something you can do with something little. Even in the Bible, you're told that if you're given something small, confirm to us that there's something small that you have, you can do something with it so that we can add you more. So if our governors or our counties cannot do something with the 15% they're given, how then are we going to trust them with 45% that they're claiming for? But now Ruto has said that county governments, yes, you have failed. I'm also not going to sit to watch my people cry. Yet I promise to elevate our women. And that is why it's
By
coming
building
in.
for markets.
Not only building for markets, there are so many.
So many from which
There are so many. In Kirinyaga, if you go to Kirinyaga, if you go to the coast, if you go to the eastern part of Kenya, you're going to find more. But let's not talk about this. Come even to infrastructure. Come even into infrastructure. Public-private partnership. Dr. William Samoei Ruto.
Do we need PPPs?
We need PPPs.
But PPPs is selling the county.
Is not. Maybe we lack information about it.
Okay.
Public-private partnership. I wish you could understand the meaning of how to partner. Even in your houses, if you got wives, there are certain things that you can partner to ensure that even your families become better. The Mau Rironi Summit, not summit, but Mau Rironi Road. Today is a world-class project that if it is
a
done,
planned world-class project, which is we don't know when we need to be
my
finished or
good
we need to
friend,
be
my good
constructed.
friend,
Those are questions to be asked.
This is a project of course.
Let me say that.
The other day, the Minister of Finance or Treasury, John Mbadi, the Treasury already approved allocation of 200 billion on upper limit. Though that road is supposed to go to a tune of around 170. You get the point? But you know, in allocation and approval, there must be upper limit, there must be lower limit. So approval of 200 billion has been allocated, has been approved. It means this is something on course. In building and in construction, my good friend, it is not a wake up in the morning that it is done. You get the point? Just listen. Listen. Don't jump ship.
Okay.
You get the point?
I want to come in.
So that project, if it is completed, it is a project that is going to ensure that the western part of Kenya is connected best with the eastern part of Kenya and even central part of Kenya. How is it going to be important economically? We have those that are doing agriculture in the western part of Kenya. We have those that are doing fishing. But to realize major markets of this country are in the central part of Kenya, that is Nairobi, or maybe even to the coast. So for example, if our fish wants to come from the western part of Kenya to Nairobi or to the coast, it must pass through that road. If for example, sugar from the factories that we have on the side want to come from to this part of Kenya, maybe for example, Chemeni, Muhoroni is talking about Mumias. I know about Sodi, I know about Ndewa. You get the point? If they want to come to this other part of the country, they must pass through that road. Look at last year, for example, during December holidays, people take 2 days on that route. 2 days, just sleeping on that route, yet they're going to celebrate Christmas 25th. They left Nairobi on 24th. So they're getting to their homes on 26th, on 27th. It means on 25th, they are on Rironi Mau Summit Road. So look at that shape.
And I was
He was one of them.
Support Ruto.
And he's
I must support Ruto.
Mr. Calvin, thank you so much. Our good friends are really very vocal about what the government is doing. And he's planning and he's doing, and the vision is big. But let us hope so, because we know whom we are talking about here, Mr. William Samoei Ruto, Dr. William Samoei Ruto.
the liar.
The liar.
Yes.
When you are talking about counties, then Murama should be given a token. They are doing a good job. And Irungu Kangata,
What I think the section is trying to do is about health.
yeah, Irungu is really good.
But, and then in infrastructure is failing.
We will talk about counties, but I was watching before people goes to this the governors conferences. There's always statistics that are given out that shows who is performing, who is not performing, or who is not the last. You are lying to us here.
Yes.
It's not said it's last, we just said the record failed.
And let me tell you,
You use it to scale others.
okay. In these issues of fertilizers, I was watching a talk in the one of the days in the morning.
You are watching.
Yeah, I was watching. Then they brought in the deputy governor of Irungu Kangata, of Nyamira, of Murang'a. He was saying that the government has allocated 47 billion agriculture. In that, about how much goes to subsidies? A certain billion, which is, I don't know, 16 something, goes to fertilizer subsidies. That the governor was saying, why is these fertilizer subsidies not given to us at the county level? Because agriculture is devolved. Why is the national government coming down to collect statistics of the farmers? We need these fertilizer subsidies given to us here on the ground. He was also complaining about the accessibility of these fertilizers. They are not accessible, easily accessible. You see, these fertilizers are being deposited into the cereals boards and produce boards, which is the headquarters. And a farmer comes from the interior parts of Murang'a County. He spends a lot of money to go and get these fertilizers. So he's saying, then what they have done, they have gone to every farmer they have registered. They know the chief. So when these fertilizers touches down at the cereal and produce board, they go for them. Then they now distribute to their farmers because they have the statistics. That's a milestone. So the bigger question that was in that conversation, if agriculture is devolved, then why is fertilizer subsidies not devolved? Another thing, recently you saw Mbadi selling out Safaricom just to raise money money. There's infrastructure fund that has been brought by Ruto's government, and they sold through Nairobi Stock Exchange. They sold 10% of the shares. They own Safaricom. Government owns 10.36% of shares of Safaricom through the Nairobi Stock Exchange. So what they have done, they have sold that 10. So
they are the biggest shareholder.
Yeah, the biggest shareholder.
So whoever they sell to
is the Vodacom. The Vodacom, yeah, is the boss now.
Will now be the boss.
So we are asking as Kenyans. They are claiming we are raising 47 billion for the infrastructure fund. We are asking the government that what happens to M-Pesa services? What happens to our data? That is the biggest question we are asking as the Kenyan people. What happens to Safaricom services? You are now selling something that you have been protecting. What happens to
selling it to a foreign country?
A foreign company. That's the Vodacom group in the
Yes, we need to understand this.
Let me finish.
We are not selling Safaricom. I think we need to make this right. We are not selling Safaricom.
Why are you doing?
We are selling, what the government is doing is selling shares. And what the government is selling is 15%. And the government has to attune of around 35%. You get the point? So shareholding. So the government is selling its shares. It means what they are selling is for government. You get the point? The only problem I have with that is only that bidding was not done so that we could get the highest bidder to buy in time. Yes. Yeah. But what the government is doing is right. The only problem that, in my view, I feel the government has missed, they ought to have placed this to the public domain so that we could get more bidders, so that we could get somebody with a higher stake. But the issue in position here, what the government is doing is very good. Because what we are selling here is shares of government.
Before you talk, let me just say something. When you say something is being rushed, there is a scheme under that thing that cannot be, they don't want to open to us.
Yeah,
when the issue of the airport was being rushed, there was a scheming thing, and this is the government that these people support.
The company was even, the guy was even corrupt, was named by the US Nini.
Who is that?
What company was it? Adani Group was even stopped by the US. Because let me ask you, I want the government to answer these viewers here. what happens to Safaricom services like M-Pesa and what happens to our data? And exactly, okay,
Now that the Vodacom will be the boss.
the boss. And then, is our data protected? Oh, okay. And let us be very clear here. When we are talking about infrastructure funds, let me tell you that our roads, we always have something called the fuel levy and the road maintenance levy. Fuel levy is at 7 shillings per litre. Then the road maintenance is at 18 shillings per litre.
This man is doing well.
This money is always being collected by the Kenya Revenue, then goes to the Kenya Roads Board, the KRB. During the last, so this money is distributed this way. The Kenha get 30%. Kera, you know Kera. Kera get 35%. Kura get 15%. Then the county government get 20%. This road is to maintain our roads and everything.
But there's a
In the last
lot
year-
of corruption.
In the last year,
So Kera, Kura, these are the same thing.
yeah,
They're not the same
No,
thing.
they're not
They're not
that's
the
the
same
same
thing.
thing.
You know the roads we have, we are missing.
Let me make my point. Let me make my point.
This way.
Let me make my point. So Ruto is saying we need to go to deal with these things. So that money, all those money will always go to something called infrastructure fund now. They are not, infrastructure fund,
Subdivisions.
subdivision. Let me tell you, in the financial budget 2020-2021, Uhuru's government collected around 72.8 billion. Just of the fuel levy and road maintenance levy. When the MPs were now told to check on that account, the only money that was got was 36 billion.
So Uru is a
I want you to tell us, as the government, this infrastructure money you are raising, will one day the MPs check on the Auditor General and the MPs check on those funds and tell us
And another question
that
on
they are
that.
gone,
Another question
that
on
they
that.
have got, that they are not there?
Another question on
That you
that.
want to tell us?
Where is this account? Because even we have issues with the Rasta fund.
Exactly.
You have issues with the
So-
with the
so-
The
Rasta
accounts
fund.
of Rasta fund.
So
They even don't know where it is.
this is the point. You know, corruption in this country will come when funds are distributed to so many areas.
Yeah.
And that is why even if you come to that is why even if you come to, I still come just back to education before I answer that question in a minute. The reason still our education is not sustainable is because you realize a lot of resources are distributed in different departments to sustain education. For example, you realize a member of parliament has a bursary, a governor has a bursary, a president has a bursary. So many people have bursaries. So we are thinking, or we wish, or I wish, that all this money is supposed to be placed in one basket, so that we just say purely education is free.
Yeah.
Where
As
we-
you know, there's a point.
Yes,
Yeah.
where we know
Because this money is a lot.
Correct.
So he knows the systems are not working.
So
And it's a Mr. Dr. Ruto.
yes.
Let me ask you. Is that a failure to Dr. Ruto?
Yeah.
Not to Dr. Ruto.
They're not good listeners. They're just here.
Not
They're
to
just
Dr.
not
Ruto.
listening.
It is good.
He said it's the agent of change.
So listen,
And this nation
so
needs.
listen and listen.
Give him
Listen
time,
and
give him
listen
time.
carefully.
Give him time.
Listen and listen carefully.
Uh-huh.
Ruto's government, the other day you had Mheshimiwa John Bari talk about a capitation still, that we are giving to a tune of 17,000, yet it's supposed to be 22,000. So he talked about this money that is always in CDF that we claim is always bursary. That amount of money is supposed to be taken to education directly. People really complain minus understanding what he was talking about. So the issue of this bursary thing to different departments is not a Ruto making.
Yes.
It has always been there. It is only Ruto's regime which has begun championing for this amount of money to be placed in one docket or one
Ruto
department.
just recently
Just
said
listen,
it's
just
about
listen, just listen.
Is
So
Dr. Ruto?
if I come back to the issue of the levy you're talking about, we are saying that we are supposed to have an infrastructure fund. whereby all this amount of money is consolidated in one area, where the person to be questioned is just one department. So if you want to talk about infrastructure, we know where to get the money from. So if you want to build maybe highways, we know that the money is from this department. If you want to build our DA roads, for example, if you want to build our A roads, for example, if you want to build our rural access roads, for example, it is just one department because we're still going to talk about infrastructure. So I believe, I have faith that if all this money is taken, is consolidated into one area, then at the end of the day, this money we are going to minimize on issues of corruption. But if this money, one is in Kura, one is in Kera, one is where, there are people, they're hyenas in all these departments who always want to eat from this money. But if it is brought to one department, I believe, I trust this infrastructure fund is going to be a milestone for this country.
Can I say something?
You have not answered. What happens to M-Pesa, our data?
Very good. I still come back to this. What the government wants to sell here is their shares. And I would now bring this question. What is a share? What is a share?
Can you tell us?
A share is not data. A share is money. Basically, it is money. It is not data. Here the government is selling their shares in Safaricom, not the data.
And after selling shares?
After, you know, government has 35%.
Yes.
In Safaricom, you get? It means to a tune of 65%, there's a given group of people which have. So the government is going to remain with the 20%. You get the point?
35 minus 15, you remain with the 20.
Yeah, 35 minus 15 is how much? Mathematics is a problem.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It is 20. So we are remaining with the 20% as a share.
Yes.
You get the point? So 15% has been given to Vodafone. They buy it. Just the same way, at inception, government did not have 35%. They began from a point, and they increased that share. They increased that share based on the underlying factors then. You get the point? So what we need to solve now, as a government, we don't want to celebrate that we have 35% of shares in Safaricom. There are things that we need to solve. We have infrastructure that we need to solve today. We are not a government that is going to celebrate that we have more shares in Safaricom, yet it is not bringing value addition to our government. A government has vision. Yes. A government has a thinking of the future. What the government wants to solve now is issue of infrastructure. So we need to get money for infrastructure. That is why the shares that we have in Safaricom is not helping us as we are speaking today as a government. That is why we want to sell that 15 to support infrastructure. What is the problem with that? The data in Safaricom is not going to be interfered with. Our M-Pesa is not going to be interfered with. What the government is going to sell is our shares.
Who is Vodacom?
Let me say
Who is Vodacom?
Vodacom
is a private company.
A foreign
company.
Underline the word foreign.
Their interest is just to make profit.
Money.
So what happens to Safaricom services is none of their business. Is even none of the government business. Because we are paying interest. We are paying taxes to the government.
No services to Safaricom.
And service. So
I think I have a problem with mathematics.
Let me tell you something.
Wait, 100 minus 15.
Let me tell you
100 minus 15.
Let me tell you something.
85. 100 minus 15 is?
Let me tell you something.
I want you to answer.
85.
100 minus 15
It is 85.
85, simple. So if 15% of government shares in Safaricom is sold to Vodacom, it means Safaricom as a bank plus government is still at 85%.
Yes.
What makes you think that M-Pesa now is going with 15% that is not with 85%?
Let me tell you something. What about the people who sit in the board? These people who share.
Shareholders.
The shareholders. They share on the board. They bring solutions and how to run this the business. So when the biggest shareholder sells part of his share to somebody and welcomes them to the board, where the decisions of this business is being made, what does that tell you? It tells you, please come on board, when we will be making decisions on Safaricom, you are part of it. And you know Vodafone, most of it deals with data and what? And the issue of phones, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you give Safaricom to someone who is experienced in data